Today's video we are going to be making some bunny bunting for Easter. They're very quick to make, about 10-15 minutes per bunny, and the majority of it is double crochet, and up here we've got Tunisian crochet, which is very quick and easy to do. So we're going to need a needle to sew the ends in at the end, a pair of scissors. I use a 2mm hook and I prefer to use cotton, and I've just got some normal white random wool just for the Pom Pom tails. Okay, now we need to do a magic circle to begin with. So we're going to wrap the yarn around your fingers twice. We're going to go under the first one, pull it through, grab your yarn, and that's your magic circle. Now we're going to do chain 3. That's 1, 2, 3. That counts as your first double crochet. Wrap the wool around, and we're going to go through the center of your magic circle like so. So we're going to go through, pick up your yarn again. So now you've got your 3 chains on your hook. I'm going to go through the first 2 and then yarn over again and through the last 2. So that's your double crochet. So at the moment we've actually got 2 on there because this chain counts as your first one. We need 12. So that's 2. Let's just keep going. Oops. That's 3. Yarn over, through the loop, pull through 2 and pull through 2. So up to 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And just if this end gets too loose, just give it a tug. So now we're on number 11. And lastly, number 12. Okay, so we can double check on these. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this is your last one here, 12. Now for the next round, we're just going to give the circle a tug just to close it up slightly. You don't have to pull it all the way out. And for the next round, we need to do a slip stitch into the top, which is this one here. So we need that loop and the one behind so that we can join the round together like so. And then we're going to chain 3. So again, this is our next round. So this would be our first double crochet. This is our chain of 3. And then we need to go back in where we just started. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in that same hole, like so. And then we're going to continue to do 2 in every single stitch. So that way we end up with 24 double crochets on our hook. Oops. So this is our next one. That's number 3. And number 4. Over to the next white stitch, which is here. Number 5. 6. Next one here, 7. And number 8. 9. 10. Whoops. Get back on. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then we're going to go to the top of our chain, 1, 2, 3. We're going to join the loops together, like so. Now this is going to be the last round. So on this one, we're going to alternate. So we need to do 3 chain, go back into the same stitch, which is down here, and do your double crochet. So now we have got 2 double crochets up there. So the next stitch is going to be 1. So we're going to do a single double crochet in this one. And now we're going to swap again to a double in the next one. So 2 double crochets, that's 1 and 2. And then again, we're going to do 1. And in the next one is going to be 2. So you just need to carry on alternating between 1 and 2, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, now just finish that round. We're going to join them together again, 1, 2, 3 at the top with your slip stitch. Put it through, join the 2 together. Now we're going to be working on this top section, but not the ears. So we need to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we need to pick up each loop on our hook. So ignore this very first one. So we go in the second one and you bring through the yarn. And the next one, so that's 2 you've had. This is the third one you're picking up, and the fourth one, which means at the moment you should have 5 chains on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to join this to the body. So we're going to go into this next stitch. Again, draw up the loop. Now you're going to pull the yarn through 2 at a time. So that's the first 2. More yarn through the next 2. More yarn through the next 2. And again, like so. And the last one. So that's the start of it. Now I tend to pull the yarn back with my finger on this one because the first stitch is always hiding. Now, as you can notice, let me just drop this down so you can see. We need to go into these back loops here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So by pulling that yarn back, we get to see that first one because it always hides at the top. So we need to pick up that last loop, pull the yarn through, and do the same to all the way along the line. So you will end up with 5 on your hook again. That's 3. And there's 4. And the last one's here. Give it a push in, and there's 5. And obviously attach it to the next stitch on the body. Bring the yarn through. And we repeat the process again. We're going through 2 at a time. Like so. And we do the whole thing again. Pull the yarn back. The top one's right here. Like so. And work your way along. And again, next stitch on the body, through 2, through 2, through 2, come on, get through 2, and the last 2. There we go. And again, we just keep repeating this. That was our 3rd row. Again, that one's being a bit stiff. And again in the body, through 2, through 2, 2, 2 and 2. And again, that was number 4. This is number 5. Again, there we go. The first one. Oh, fingers are slipping. Second one. Third one. Fourth one, and the body. Okay, that was number 5. Let's double check. We need 5 rows, so we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got to keep going. So this is number 6. Okay, in there. That's 1, 2, 3. Oops, it's come back off again. Get back in. 4 and onto the body. Through 2. Through 2. 2. 2 and 2. Okay, let's just double count now. So we ignore this first one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how many I need. So 6 rows in total. Okay, now for the ears, we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need to be working on this inner section here. So the best thing to do is to turn your needle around in the yarn and then come back up through. So there's 1. And here's number 2. And number 3. And finally number 4. It's going to get in there. There we go. And then once you've got your 5 hooks on there, we need to go back into the head, and we've attached it like so. So we're going to come through 2, through 2, 2 again, until you're left with 1. And we're going to go down again once more. So there's our first one. And the second. And the third. And the fourth. Join it to the head. Through 2. Through 2. And 2. Through 2, and we're left with 1. Now we're not going to do stitches on the way back down, we're going to do a slip stitch instead. So we're basically just trying to get the yarn back to the bottom so we can start the other ear. So this first one here, pull it through, and then through that one. There's our slip stitch. And just carry on to get to the bottom. Get in there. That's number 2. Number 3, number 4, and then we need to slip stitch into the head as well to join it. like so. And this is where we do the last ear, so we're going to chain another 5, 3, 4, 5. This one will be okay because we're going the right way. Pick up the next 4, so it's 1, 2, missed that one, just get that bit of yarn off, 3, and the last one's here, 4, and we do need to go back into the head like so to join it together, and work your way back up, going through 2 each time. That's 1 row, we've got 1 more row to do. So through the back, get in there. It's always tighter when you're working with cotton, whereas if you've got wool, it will go through much quicker and much easier. 2, 3, whoops, and last one here is 4. Into the head, back up to the top. And then we're just going to slip stitch down the side. So this is our first one. Put it through and then through your loop. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And then we need to slip stitch into the head, which will be down here, like so. I'll just cut off some yarn so we can sew that in at the end. And there we have our bunny. So the next thing to do is to make the pom-pom. Okay, so now I've got my white wool ready for my pom-pom, and it's very simple to do. You literally hold it with your finger and you wrap it round maybe 20 plus times. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to cut my yarn. Oh, I've got my scissors in my fingers. And then I'm going to cut another section off to make the pom-pom, which is here. So whilst it's still on my finger, I insert my hook through. Find roughly the middle of the yarn so that we can pull it back like so. And then we're going to pull the 2 tail ends through, just like so. Give it a tug off your finger, tie a knot so it doesn't get loose. Just put 2 knots in that one, like so. Hold the bottom, and we're going to cut through all the loops like so. Let's cut that stray bit off. There we go, give us an idea of what we're doing. And it's not finished yet, but I find it easier to trim it once it's in the bunny. So we need to go back to our bunny. I'm going to make that hole slightly smaller. So on this one, I generally wrap a hook around it, give it a bit of a tug, and we've closed it in. Now we need to attach the pom-pom. So we need the right side facing forward, so the pom-pom's going onto it. We're going to pull the yarn, the tail ends through, like so. Give it a bit of a tug, and we're going to tie it together with this one. Make it as tight as you can. Just do a couple of knots on there. And this is where the needle comes in. We need to sew these ends in before we start cutting. And on our middle round, I find it easier just to pick up the loops around like so. And feed it round. So there's that one. And then again with these ones. You do one at a time or both together, it doesn't matter, it depends on how thick your wool is. And I'm just going to follow where I've just been with the previous yarn. There's the first one. That's it. And go through this second bit as well, just to secure it. Like so, and then we can just snip these ends off. Oops. And we need to sew this top one in where we left off from the ears. Okay, so I generally feed it down, and then there's a nice piece in the middle that you can weave it in and out of. So when you get back to the body, this section, pull it through the back, and then you've got these nice stitches here that we can just weave it through. And it's nicely hidden then. And again, snip that end off. Now at the moment, it doesn't quite look right. We need to trim our pom-pom, and then it would definitely look like a bunny's tail. So I gather it again in my fingers, and just be as rough as you like, trim it down, and then I go at angles to the base and snip it so it's shorter underneath, like so. And then start trimming some more of the height off. Move all that out of the way. And there we have our finished bunny. And with the bunting, I've just literally threaded it like we did with the ear yarn through this top piece. Just picked up a couple of stitches on each of those, and you can attach it up, and it makes a lovely decoration. So I hope you like the video. Maybe give it a like, subscribe, and I'll put another one up next week. Thank you.